Hey everybody, my name is Kelly Dixon. I think you know by now.
Yay.
But I'm here today with my executive producer, Vince Gilligan.
Hello.
The star of our show, Bryan Cranston.
He's so shy.
One of our producers, co-executive producer, Melissa Bernstein.
Yay.
Hello.
The editor of this episode, Skip McDonald.
Hi there.
Woohoo!
And our music supervisor, Thomas Gullovich. I was so disappointed when I heard that you guys were going to kill Gale, because Gale is really fun and he's very fun to cut, and he's really
get
fun.
over him. Come on, he's
I
dead.
love
He's
it.
gone.
And you know
Let's
what?
move on.
I was so excited to see him. So that's how we open up, and it's the brand new lab, and the guys, Gale is talking to Gus about how pure the product is,
Right.
and how he can't really match it, but he really would like to know who it is that has cooked this absolutely perfect specimen of of meth. That's so you guys basically you had to clear out that lab that you built last year and bring in and create all that equipment up and basically
Not me
upgrade it.
personally.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Our wonderful
You have people to do
production
that, right?
designer and Michael Flower, Mark Freeborn, our production designer, Michael Flowers, our wonderful set decorator, and their crews.
And of course, important to have that box cutter,
Yeah.
to
Right.
establish
Yeah, I mean,
that.
let me
Right.
ask you this too,
Yeah.
because Vince, I know that you get pictures of a lot of the choices that these department heads will make. So, how many box cutters were given to you to choose from?
We actually had an artist in Sweden design that box cutter for us. At
Really?
a cost of $118,000.
Really?
Thank you, Sony.
If you'd like to purchase that, you can go online.
No, you're right. It's what you just said. Our great prop master, Mark Hansen, and his crew. They showed me photos of probably 2 or 3 dozen box cutters. And
Dozen.
maybe
Wow.
maybe not that many. Maybe 2 box cutters.
2 boxes. Okay.
No, probably somewhere between 2 or 3 dozen and 2. Probably he showed me like 12 or 14 of them, and then I picked one.
So, is that how you got to developing the flashback to become the teaser?
Yes, exactly. We wanted him to kill Victor with a staple gun, but we couldn't figure out how to. No, no, you're right. It's a good thing you bring up, because it's one of those things where you want to hit it just hard enough, but you don't want to hit it too hard.
Right.
And so then the question is, what is just enough and what is too much? How long do I hold on this shot? Because he sets it down in the teaser on the box and then he walks away. How long? How many seconds? How many frames? Which is, a frame is 1/24 of a second. Do you hold on this thing?
Yeah, it's a tough choice because you don't want to stay too long because then it's so obvious what it is. But if you're not there long enough, people may not see it or register it. So it's a fine line where you want to go with it.
Let's take, for instance, the scene in the lab where Victor gets knifed. It's not about just this prosthetic goes on his neck and we have a blood pump and let's cross our fingers and hopefully that all works and we can get out. Just give a brief example of the phone calls, the emails, the tests, and everything that goes in that is involved in a stunt like that.
Michelle McLaren and I produce the show, and with Stuart Lyons, and we have a number of other producers that specialize in various areas. But we start with, the writers started up in July, and as sort of big scenes are coming together, Vince starts to let us know so that we can start turning things over in our minds, and then we divide and conquer essentially. For the throat slitting portion, we got K&B, Greg Nicotero, who also works on AMC's our sister show, AMC's The Walking Dead, and his partner Howard Berger, who's actually done the Chronicles of Narnia for Mark Johnson. Incredibly talented prosthetic makeup people, and started talking about what Vince and the writers had in mind, what they really wanted it to look like. So we get them started on tests, and I mean, how many tests do you think we went through?
We did a lot.
Yeah, I mean, because
Probably
we're
half
trying
dozen,
to
something like that. Yeah.
Vince's off.
Videotape them.
Yeah. They shoot them on video and then email them to us, where we take a look.
We wanted this to be, in this case, we wanted this to be more shocking than gory. I mean, it is bloody,
It's gory.
but it should be more shocking than anything else.
And what should this spray be like, and and how much, and what the color of the blood should look like, and what the color of the blood should look like opposite the floor. So we did a separate test on blood viscosity,
Yeah.
like with little pieces of the tile of the floor.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this goes to show how you can't plan out everything in advance. Because if I had known we'd have a scene like this in season 4, we would not have had a red floor in the Super Lab. We would not have. We were worried about that. Worried about it showing up. Yeah. How long? How many takes with all the blood going everywhere?
Well, it's brutal because you have to shoot at 360 degrees, basically, and so there were several takes, and he's in this sticky concoction of, blood, and then we have to clean him up and do it from a different angle, and this. So he was in the goop for many, many hours, and it's
Issues too.
yeah, there are matching issues, so that you have to make sure when you're shooting the coverage that he was grabbed at the same place and the same time, because you don't want to see that. You editors deal with that all the time. You see arms down here, then arms up here, arms down here, arms up here, and it's like, oh God.
There was actually an interesting thing that happened in that scene on set is when we did the throat slitting, the blood got all over Giancarlo's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we hadn't anticipated that, and it was one take that happened.
Yeah.
And the question was, are we ready to commit to this? Because it does
Yeah.
become an issue in terms of matching
explain
and
why.
coverage.
From then on, you have to.
Yeah, because then we have to keep the continuity
Yeah.
the same throughout because the blood did change. Sometimes there was more, sometimes there was less. So we had to pick a way to
Which
go.
take was
Yeah,
going to be the hero,
and
yeah.
go with that.
And Vince was in Burbank that day when we shot it. So Adam's like, call him. And so literally we were taking pictures on our phones
Yeah.
to email Vince to show him what Giancarlo looked like
Yeah.
with the blood streaming down his face. And, and Vince, what you always do is you're like, what's the feeling there? What do you guys think? And I mean, we all agreed it was badass.
Oh, it's great.
And-
So let's get a last little comment about the music then from Thomas.
Well, we had a big ending on this thing, and sometimes for our episodes we'll use score sometimes to kind of close it out, and sometimes we'll put a song in. Dave Porter does beautiful score, so a lot of times his touch is really what the scene wants, and sometimes we'll try out other things. I think we both tried on this one, and. Early on, we tried a few different ideas out, and there was an album that had just come out, actually, about a week before. I got an early advance of it by an artist named Alex Ebert. He was the sort of lead guy, or is the lead guy, in a group called Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. He was also in a band called I'm a Robot, and he had his first solo record, and there was a track called Truth that we just really loved, and we just thought, this kind of captures the Breaking Bad feeling. It has sort of like a Western quality to it, and it's got a whistle that's in there.
Sort of a reggae thing too. a
The
little bit.
reggae, it kind of has all these weird genre things that we kind of touch on. It's so hard to describe the music in this show, but it's kind of all the different components, and it just had a sort of a weird sauntering quality. And Walt is walking away. We have this really great shot where the camera's following him as he's walking, and he's kind of pulling his pants up. His pants don't fit really well, and he's got the
That
Kenny
was a great
Rogers
touch.
suit.
That was Mr. Cranston's idea, by the way.
It's kind of like he's once again the cowboy that's sort of walking away in the distance, but not quite as groovy as you might hope. And then we end up going,
Aztec.
yeah, and then we get over to our crime scene, and we had to find a way to kind of get to that. And the big point, which is punching home that the lab notes have been found. Now.
Oh, that's right. That's a little adjunct to that. I forgot. That's
That looks
right.
like trouble brewing.
Yeah.
I think everything will be okay.
And Anna added a great line about acknowledging your ensemble in that last scene between Walt and Skylar.
Yeah, we chose to leave the little
I love
That was a
the
great
tag.
touch. Kathleen
The
Detroit,
tag
our
was
costume designer,
hilariously
came up with.
funny.
thing on there.
Yeah, the
The sticker.
yeah.
Size label, because it's like they obviously in a hurry. They didn't check the sizes of things, or they
In
and
my mind, Mike went and bought it for you guys instead of you guys buying it, because I think even in a hurry, you wouldn't want to wear the same thing. Jesse
Yeah, I
would.
was just wondering. That sounds.
That's what I think.
more to me too. Yeah, who just buys?
Because you would have had to go in your bloody clothes to the Target or the Walmart or whatever
Right.
to buy the clothes.
that's yeah.
It'd be nice to see Mike in line with the two Kenny Rogers shirts, like checking out. Kenny Rogers.
I like the red Converse.
Webisode.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But hopefully, folks are, it's a big, and David Costable, who plays Gale, such a wonderful actor, and it's a big moment. And now Jesse is,
We're gonna miss him.
Yeah, we're gonna miss Dave. Oh well, you may see him again. You know, no one
Perhaps.
dies forever.
Perhaps.
In a sense.
That's a
on, Reggae
great
Blues.
title for a James Bond movie.
Nobody dies
Nobody
forever.
dies forever.
I think it messes with the stakes. Though.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up.
Nobody dies forever. Nobody dies forever.
Thank you, everybody, for listening once again.
See
This
you next
was
episode.
episode number 401. What is the title of this one?
Box cutter.
Box
This
Cutter.
one is Box Cutter.
Written by Vince Gilligan, directed by Adam Bernstein. Thank you, Melissa, Brian, Vincent, Skip, and Thomas.
Thank
Thank you, Kelly.
you, Kelly.
We'll
Thank
see
you, guys.
everybody. Hey, everybody, go break bad.